We're back.
Okay.
Okay.
So the listing agent needs to add all the things that the buyer's asking for, right? Get a bottom line and say to their client, not just look at the front page that says they're offering. So let's just use our 750 example. Okay. You have a house listed for 750.
Right.
And I'm bringing you an offer and it says 650 and you're automatically, no, forget it, Beth. I don't know, it's 650. I'm like, wait, let's take a look at it. Let's see what else they're asking for. If they're asking for a whole lot of other stuff, we're now a whole lot less than 650. We're going to figure out where we can come back and offer. We're going to counter offer. Okay, well, you're already upset because it's 650. Plus, they're asking for concessions because they want to buy down their interest. Plus, they're asking for all these other little things along the way. We're now down at 600. Now you're upset, right?
Right.
And I'm going, well, where can we be? And we'll work it back up and we'll go back to them and say, well, you didn't like your 650. He'll take your 650, but we're not paying for the rest of this. Or we'll go 7 and you can have all this. There's so many ways to work it.
Let's
and you just have to
use an example. So I find a house that's, because everyone works off the house price.
They search by the house price.
They search.
They search in zeros and fives.
And I can understand searching by the house price, but when it comes down to the sale price,
right,
there's more than just the house price. So I go in and I say, Beth, they're asking $650 for this house. What do you think it's worth? Well, I did a market analysis and you know, it comes in at about 620, 630.
Right.
I say, well, man, I don't like the color. I don't like the carpet. Man, to me, the roof needs to be done. I tell you what, let's offer them, it's at 650, let's offer them 630, because that's what you're saying it's priced at, but I need I need to be able to save some money too. So let's see if they'll do the survey and the closing costs.
Great.
Okay, so now you haven't gotten a lot off the house. You've gotten some off the house, but
you're getting more.
But when it's all said and done, you're probably getting about $40,000 off the house.
Right.
It's just not
at that price.
On
that first line.
Right. You're not getting it for 610. Right. You're buying it for 630 because that's what the market value is and that's what everyone agreed to. But you can still save money other ways. And I think that's what I wanted to get across in this show, and we wanted to get across in this show, is there's other ways to do it. Now, I might go in and say, man, interest rate's 6% right now, or 5%. Man,
I wish.
Or 8%, whatever. I don't even know what it is now.
7.2.
7.2. Man, if we could get that down to 1 point or something, then you can say, okay, well, why don't we go in and offer them to buy down?
Right. So in your little 650 case, and I said, well, 630 is more a realistic price. But now you're asking them to buy down your interest rate. We might take that 630 offer and increase it a little bit and say 635 or 637, but
you're going to save money in the long run.
Our concessions are going to be another amount, whatever the lender tells us it needs to be, for you to buy down your interest rate, because you're going to now save on the other side. You're saving on your interest rate, which is saving on your payment. So it's okay. Now you feel better about offering them a little more than you thought you wanted to offer.
Right.
Because they're helping you buy down that interest rate.
Right.
And so
and you're probably coming out ahead, depending
you're coming
on how.
out ahead because of the interest rate.
Yeah, the interest rate.
So your payments are going to be
lower.
So you can afford to put a little bit more on that price line, because you're actually going to be paying less because you bought on your. So now everybody's happy. So now he's getting closer to the price that he wanted. You're getting closer to the payment that you wanted.
Right.
And everybody wins.
Yeah. And you've
so
probably
many ways to
you've bought a house, and you can do this sometimes even on homes that are priced more than what you think you want to spend, because there's other ways to get the payment down.
Yes.
And so The other thing I want to touch on, and this is probably going to ruffle some feathers with some people, don't be scared to make an offer, because in the last, and I don't know when this show is going to air, but in the last week, there's been some price drops down here, a lot more than you typically see, and it's because either they had sentimental values or something.
Or they're just moving on. Or
Right.
They need to get out.
Right.
A lot of times in real estate in general, no matter what the market is, you always have people who are selling their house because they've had a job change, they've had a change in family status,
Right.
they've had a health change.
And
It
get a
doesn't
lot of
matter.
we get a lot of people down here that they move because they want to be closer to their grandkids. Now are playing a lot of sports and
so
stuff.
they're in
They're
the
ready-
woodlands every other weekend or spring.
Right.
They just
need to move.
they need to go back.
And so
Right.
we do get a lot of people that move because
of family.
That's
right.
right.
And life situations.
Right.
And so that doesn't matter what the market is.
Right.
Those are situations where they need to sell their house. And so that's a great way to come in and get a good house and a good deal. But this is what I'm going to tell you. So when I came down here
Mm-hmm.
to buy my house, right, I didn't like the price. I tried to negotiate a lower price, and I used an agent to help me. Even though I'm an agent, I used an agent because I was new to the area.
Right.
So I figured it was best to get the expert in the area to help me. So I used an agent down here. And I'm like, look, this is what we're going to offer. And she's like, oh, that's a low, Beth. I'm like, I don't care. Well, it was funny because while I'm having this conversation with the agent, I'm having a sidebar conversation with my daughter, who was the one who initiated all this, because
Right.
she saw the house for sale and fell
Right.
in love. And
Because y'all
And-
vacation down here
yes,
or something.
and
Yeah.
then they dropped the price. So she came to me one morning and she goes, oh my gosh, Mom, look, they dropped the price. It's on clearance. Love her terminology. She goes, your house is on clearance.
Clearance.
I'm like, baby, there's no such thing as clearance.
Clearance on a home.
In real estate. And I looked at the price and went, oh, wait, this house is on clearance. They dropped the price. They also added an open house. And I said, okay, well, it's on clearance, but that house is going to be gone by Sunday. So don't even,
Right.
just take that house right off your mind, because that price is so good. And they're doing an open house. Someone's going to walk into that open house on Sunday and buy it. And my husband turned around and said, then you're going to go in on Friday and buy it. And so even though the house was on clearance, I still offered considerably less.
Right.
Okay. And naturally, they came back and said no. So what I said was, okay, you're not going to give me my price I want, but it was new construction. These are the things I do want. I want all the appliances. I want ceiling fans in every room. I want blinds in every window. David, when you add all that up,
That's expensive.
that was more than
Then-
my reduced price.
Right. But they gave it
But
to
they
you.
gave it to me.
Right.
So I was thrilled because I got the things that I would have had to spend money on.
Right. And it saved you money in the
It
long
saved
run.
me money in the long run. They were thrilled because they got what they needed.
Right.
Everybody's happy. I love my house.
So-
So there's just so many ways to do it.
What I want to get across is make an offer. Talk to your realtor. Figure out ways. It may not be off the total price of the house, the asking price, but there's other ways to get discounts and save money long ways. The other thing is, and this is the part that I figured I was going to upset some people. If your realtor says, I'm not going to write that price, that's an insult. Find a new realtor. A realtor is there to work for you. Now, she may negotiate with you and say, look, here's the market analysis. Here's what's going on. This is what you really ought, if you're serious about this house. She may have some reasoning, but you need to listen to her. But in my feelings, and this is my opinion, I'm not a realtor.
No.
A realtor's there to work for you.
We are here.
And it's just like when Beth comes in or one of my advertisers come in and says, David, I want to do this. Every once in a while I'll say, really? But we work through it, and we come up with a plan and still accomplish what they want. They may want me to do it free. I can't do it for free, and here's the reason why. And I've never had anyone walk off. But listen to your realtor on everything, but when it comes down to it, make the offer you want, but listen to them because they know how to go through.
They know how to They may have
finagle.
a creative way.
I don't know if
they
you
may
call
be
it finagle.
We call
It's
it
creative.
It's
and
creative.
It's
We're
the
not
same,
finagling things.
it's the same
They
way
may
when
have
it comes
creative
to
ways to do it.
financing.
It's true. And you're
There's
doing
some
this to me.
creative
There are very
financing
creative ways
that
to
you
do
need
it.
to let your lender know. In fact, I think we've got a lender
We got a lender
coming
coming
in
in.
next
We
week
do.
or the following week. Don't be shy when you talk to your lender, because don't be shy when you talk to your realtor, and don't be shy when you talk to your lender, because with those two working together for you, you can hopefully get exactly what you're looking for down the road. So,
well, one last piece.
one more word of the wise.
If you don't ask, the answer's
It'll
always
never
no.
happen.
It's always no.
That's right.
But if you ask,
all they can do is say no,
all
but
they can do is
they
say
may
no.
come back
They
with
can-
another offer,
they might
just
come back
like
with
on
some-
your home.
Yeah.
You offered them this, and they said,
said
no, we
no.
won't do that. And you said, well, I want this, this, and this. And for the dollar amount, it actually
made out.
it came out more. And so,
Right.
there was some negotiating there, but that's what a good realtor does,
but
is
really,
they negotiate.
if you don't put anything down,
you'll never
you're
know.
never gonna know.
That's right.
So we may as well put it on the piece of paper, send it in.
And let them
Let's see what they
them
say.
make a counter offer, and it may be just a little bit different because it fits them better.
Right.
Great. We're going to head on out. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Make sure you check next week's show, because we're going to be talking to a lender. God bless, and bye-bye. Video equipment is sponsored by Crystal Beach Decor and More, located at 1959 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, and Beachy Beatnik Boutique and Jewelry, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas. Thank you to these two businesses for being our 2025 video equipment sponsor for Bolivar Live.